Hey, come on now. Whoa, Steeler Nation, welcome back to the Steeler Weight Show, weekend edition. Welcome to the wacky weather edition. Shout out to Steve Martin in the movie LA Story. I'm going to talk this week about what happened this week in Steeler Nation. So I hope you enjoy. Please press like and subscribe. I'm going to start the week off on the 19th, Monday's business week, right? Derrick Bell, great on his own, is also affiliated with the Steelers now. He ended up coming out with the 7 mock draft, and this is not going to be anything like a mock to mock, but he ended up picking Mims, the offensive tackle from Georgia, in his round 1 pick. I'm kind of leaning towards the Steelers going cornerback. I think that, I'm all soap opera about it, and I get all dramatic, and I start thinking, like, all these people talk about Tomlin holding out on a contract extension because he wanted to have control, right, of the offensive coordinator position hire, Arthur Smith. But maybe here is another portion of this to where that he might be saying, this is my turn. You went up and got an offensive guy. I want an eagle back there in my secondary. It's my turn. I want the best one. So I think they're going to go with cornerback in the first round this year. I don't think Derrick would be offended by at all with that. I think that's his favorite thing. So he picked Frazier in the second round, which a lot of Steeler fans are getting real cute and clever, thinking that there are some out there that, I'm not a big fan of trading back. And I know it's so popular, it's so like common sense. I think common sense is way overrated, personally. But a lot of Steeler fans are, it's very popular to think that you're going to get Zack Frazier from Western Virginia in the second round, but they might not get him at that 51. So a lot of the cats are saying, I'm going to trade back my 20th, maybe to a 29th, to a 35th, and I'll be real solid, and I'll get the center I want. And another third, maybe. I'm sure the PFF things that they're looking on their telephone is telling them they're going to get a second, but no. Maybe you get a third. A third's cool. But I'm not a big fan of drafting back. I think I would get rid of a fourth, a sixth, a seventh, just to get another second. You know what I mean? I feel comfortable with the Steelers organization, scouting department, that they can find undrafted guys and people in free agency to fill whatever needs we do. I would like to have 4 shots at the best I could get in the draft. And if it really came down to it, I'd take 3 best shots. But if I get rid of everything just to have 4 good shots. And, I think we got the guys to pick the 4 good ones. That's what I think. One question. I love your comments, and this is a question I want to put out there. Say the Steelers do not get a JPJ in number 1, Zack Frazier in number 2. Would you rather have Graham Barton or Spencer Rattler as your 3rd round pick? Please comment below. I just want to put that out there. Personally, you're going to have to sell me on not getting Jr. from Michigan at 51. I know the guy from A&M is very popular. which I'm happy that many Steeler fans are looking at the value of inside linebacker at the second pick. But, I want Cat from Michigan. Peter King talked about the Steelers signing Jimmy Garappolo. First off, Peter King, is that the most white gangster name or the least white gangster name? I remember I had this friend when I was a kid. His name was, I don't even remember what his name was. It was a really good joke at one time. Peter something. How's your Peter this? Peter. I say that word to get smiles. But Peter King said, put out there about Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm not, okay, Mitch is gone. But, if you just say, okay, we might get Mason back, our quarterback room definitely does not need to become any prettier. We don't need prettier men than what we already have. They are pretty enough. Don't put in another, that's just about that part. Antonio Brown this week, he ended up, if you recall, the coach, Zach Azzanni, was the one that was the wide receivers coach, I think he was offensive assistant at Central Michigan, and called upon Antonio Brown, that's the story I heard, to come out and try out as a wide receiver. He'd have a good, legitimate shot at making the team. Antonio Brown just came out this week and talked about how, don't put my name in your mouth, he's using him for bait to get up on the Steelers, whatever, I mean, if you don't know dick about anything, just go with the guy from Michigan. So, I'm going with Zach. Cam Heyward had surgery. Nobody, I haven't heard anything. Nobody, as far as I know, nobody knows what it's on. But again, later on this week, he talked, I think it was Thursday, I saw something, or Friday pop off about the pay cut thing and this and that. That's a big old deal. The HBCU Combine was this week. Very proud of my general manager, Omar Khan. He was there again this year. He was only joined by the cat from the Saints. And I was taking my daughter to Joliet, and I was trying to see if I could find a stream of the game itself. I seen the practice videos on YouTube, but I was wanting to see if I could stream the game, and I couldn't find anything. I can't even find the Pirates game streaming today. Help me. Put a little link in the comments. But and Nick Farabaugh, the one thing that I saw out there that was cool, he put out a nice article about Jarvion Howard. I always say draft a running back every 5th round. If you can find, like the Steelers have found, if you can find somebody in the undrafted. I think the running back position is so, just get it. This week, there's also been a lot of the Deontay Johnson trade talk, and I understand no. I understand a lot of people talking about Deontay Johnson's style of play and his size is not going to go along with with Smith's pretty boy Smith's offense, right? Okay, I get it. And I can get it also if Deontay gets his feelings hurt from putting his dick out on a wood chopper, saying that he'd rather have Mason if they don't get Mason, right? But these fans are coming out saying that they can get a 2nd-round draft pick for him. Pretty boy. And I just don't see that. I don't understand that. I mean, the best case scenario would be a fourth round draft pick, in my opinion, from a bad team like Atlanta or Bears. Maybe throw him in with something to the Bear. I don't know, but I mean, um, the most attractive thing about a trading Diontae is, to me personally, obviously he's a skilled player. I like Diontae. I want to keep him, so I figured they can figure it out. But the most attractive thing about it would be his low salary. And that's like the one thing that the Steeler fans are moaning about. Like, get rid of his high salary. I'm like, he's like cheap as hell. To me personally, I think Diontae's cheap. I think his hometown discount, personally. But that's what they would say. They get rid of that contract. I'm like, contract's not that bad. So get rid of Deontay's contract on a trade. But then bring in Boyd for 60% of the money you're paying. Foolish. I like Boyd. Bring him in. I would love to have a nice little slot. You know what I mean? But the whole dynamic of the Johnson and Boyd and trading, it's odd. It's odd to me. Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco, on his show with a super cool guy, Shannon Sharp. Another one says a little birdie tells him that the guy that looks like a potato, Russell Wilson, is going to be signed by the Steelers. So they get what they do get is a peace symbol with only one of my fingers raised. There was also some nonsense out there by the Giants wide receiver Victor Cruz. Remember those 2 years he was good? Victor Cruz saying that they would win the North if they hired Wilson. Whatever. What's more interesting is about on that show is that Willie Colon, he ended up. Now, if you all follow all these podcasts, if you're to my podcast, you follow the bigger ones. You know what I mean? I'm a backup. DK Sports is a very popular show. The Ramone Foster show is a super popular show. And if you've watched that show, you know the relationship that Ramone Foster has with Willie Colon. I haven't been watching the show lately. It hasn't been fitting for me lately with entertainment, whatever. But he's always talked about how Willie Colon was his number one guy. You know what I mean? Willie Colon on that show says something like, I'm right, bye-bye, Mr. High Hand. Bye-bye, small hands, when he's talking about Kenny Pickett. So I'm curious. Ramone Foster, I'm sure people will question that. Micah Sullivan was promoted to senior offensive assistant, which, a lot of people that I like and a lot of people that I listen to, admire, have said that this is a good hire. Okay. When I saw Mike Sullivan looking around, I was like, good riddance, because not that I'm super high on Kenny Pickett or Mitch Trubisky or Mason Rudolph. It's just that Dick. There's not a whole lot going on, you know what I mean? But then I started thinking about it. I'm thinking about the insider information that Sullivan could provide for Arthur Smith, and Tom Art, Zach Azzanni. One thing that's also cool is that I can see Mateo Kambui, obviously. Woohoo! There's my teleprompter. He's from the Smiths Cloth. Uh, he got a legitimate promotion. He was offensive assistant line coach for the Falcons, and now he's an offensive assistant for us. Like I'm looking forward to a couple great years of hearing good things about him being in the hip pocket of Sullivan and things being all brought together with Eddie Faulkner as the running back coach, Pat Meyer. The Steelers are doing the things that we've been wanting them to do. I think majority of the Steeler fans, even the conservative ones like myself, I consider myself a conservative Steeler fan. I'm cheap like the Steelers. And I am embracing all these new, I don't care what the numbers are compared to other teams. We have more assistants. Another coaching hire that we had, I'm not going to talk about the strength and conditioning ones, but another offensive assistant, again from Atlanta. Like I had mentioned before we hired Arthur Smith, when we were obviously in the market for offensive coordinator because we didn't have one, I said that I would appreciate if that coordinator brought in friends really nepotism is the word. You know what I mean? Not in a, you got to look at the positive sides of crack cocaine. Where else can you get a television set for $20? I looked forward to Arthur Smith bringing friends in, people that he trusted, and I wanted the Steelers to have that faith in this guy, and it's working that way. So again, this cat is from Michigan, so I don't know really what more you want to say, but I'm just happy. I'm happy as a fan that this is a move that the Steelers are making. This week, Terry Bradshaw, he ended up speaking out in support of Kenny Pickett. Now, I was a fan in 79, 80, right? He was a quarterback. And I was very young and didn't know very much. He was one of the posters I had on my bedroom wall. I had him, Joe Green, Jack Ham, Lonnie Anderson, Cheryl Teagues, and Farrah Fawcett. Those were my 6 posters my parents let me have on my wall. And I love you, Terry, but please, and I'm not a Kenny basher, but please don't go like Joe Biden on me and get all, I don't know. I saw a tweet from a Tar Heels fan, and he was saying because over this last week, Sam Howell's, the Commanders are thinking about, obviously, they're thinking about moving on. I think it's Commanders moving on from Sam Howell, and because they're so early in the draft, and this guy says, I'm all for it. No apologies, and those are I love those kind of fan comments out there on X. Follow me on X, Steeler Wade Show. But if you have anything you want to comment on this show, on anything, you know what I mean? If you want to say something brazen, I think, I don't know, whatever you want to say. It's cool by me. Say it. If you have enjoyed the show whatsoever, you've made this long, please like my program, subscribe. Patrick Peterson, obviously, Patrick Peterson is an inexperienced safety who needs a job, right? So he says what needs to be said, and he supports Kenny Pickett. Again, I'm not a Kenny Pickett hater, just saying that that's the right thing to say. And I will give him props that he was the the first active Steeler that I really kind of heard come out and say how basic Matt Canada's offense was. Now, that's his argument in support of Kenny. It's a common sense argument in support of, right? You know what I mean? But, I had a lot of high hopes for Patrick Peterson when he came in this year, and I am here nor there on him now. And so I know I can get I'm not going to go with that, but the biggest news of the week, I saved for last. And this is what kind of stinks about being not prepared too well, is that I have other podcasts and other subjects I really want to do a podcast on, but I'm not ready for them. But now this one hits. Pittsburgh Steelers have let go of Mason Cole. I went running into the house again to my bride to show her unimpressed face that we got rid of him. And man, it opens up so much. The thing about him being let go at this time, is a double-edged sword as far as they're very respectful. Give him time to find another team. But at the same time, with these cuts of Mitch, Chooks, Presley, now Mason Cole, it is, look, this is about performance. So, that's a future podcast I want to do on centers. There's some free agency out there, but that's for a later date. I really wish that you guys and ladies would have a great week. AMF Steeler Nation, please press like and subscribe, share. I love it, and I appreciate it all. It's just, you're so cool. Thank you.